Hello in there. Today we're going to be breaking down reels.
Logan spent some money.
I did. There was a Black Friday sale from a store I never heard of.
No, where is that store from?
Allen Bob's in Michigan. I didn't hear of them, but they had a big sale on Lou's reels.
Big Lou's guys up there.
Yeah, which I like Lou's. So I was like, let me check this out. And I was finding some really, really good deals.
I even thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm broke.
But anyway, we'll just jump right into it. We got a couple to go through. 3 total reels, in fact.
Yep.
So stick around. We'll go through them. Would you like to start with casting or spinning?
Let's start with casting because there's 2 of them.
All right. Yeah, I got my box here. I did open it up just to make sure everything was in. So if you're like, hey, there's some funny business going on, there's really not. I just wanted to make sure everything was in there. But we're going to start with the Lou's Speed Spool LFS.
Yep.
So I really like their boxes too. They're interesting. But here it is.
Indeed.
So you can see very common Lou's design.
Yep.
This is, like I said, the Speed Spool LFS. This is in the 6.8 to 1 gear ratio. I wanted something a little slower, but still tough, because I wanted a good cranking reel, but also I wanted something a little higher end on the cranking spectrum, a little faster. That way I could more efficiently throw square bills too,
Yeah.
or any other type of moving bait, or maybe even Texas rig that I wanted to move a little slower.
Yeah, I think we both share the ideology that you can reel a reel slower, easier than you can reel it faster.
Correct. So that's why I went with a 6.8 to 1 gear ratio. But we'll go over some specs first, and then I'll tell you how excited I am about it. So this is a 10 bearing system, a 9+1.
Yep.
Very smooth. I'm looking forward to it. Plus it has the 0 reverse one-way clutch bearing. If I'm saying that correctly, I'm pretty sure I am.
You are.
Which is nice. So I've noticed on a few different reels, if I make a heavy hook set with like a frog or a jig, and it's a big fish, a lot of times my spool running backwards, letting line out, and that's just not good for me. Okay, I want to stick them, and I want to have the power and the winching power to get them to the bank.
Yep.
Which 0 reverse one-way clutch bearing, that's what it's doing. It's just making sure that your spool is not going in reverse and letting line out. It's stopping it from doing that. It's really cinching down on that pinion and your spool to keep it from reversing. Speaking of pinion gear though, I wanted to point out this has the P2 super pinion gear, which has got me really excited. So your standard pinion is not always supported by bearings, but this P2 super pinion is supported it's supported by 2 different bearings in 3 spaces. So there's a collar section that had towards the center that has it holds it up, and then either end has a bearing on it to be both smoother and sturdier. Your spool's not going to be wiggling around like it can on several reels, especially after a lot of wear and tear. That P2 super pinion is going to keep your reel tough, and it's going to just really keep everything nice, tight, and smooth while you go.
Now, talking about pinion and the whole drivetrain of the reel, as we could put it, what type of gears does it have?
I'm pretty sure this reel has brass gears still. As you'll see with one of the later ones that goes up a price point, it has a slight innovation when it comes to the gearing. Brass gears, aluminum frame. That's big. I like an aluminum frame when I get to that $100 price point. Everything's tougher, it's sturdier. You're not going to get flexing or torquing in your frame and jacking up your reel. That can jack up your whole reel.
Yeah.
Whether that be just the frame or even the spool or the gearing. I mean, when you're really torquing on a reel, when it's graphite and it gets that flex, it can mess some stuff up.
But it's just the nature of the beast with graphite.
That's true. It's much lighter.
Yes.
But
Sturdy?
it's not. Yeah, not always. Not always. Some reels that are graphite, like we just talked about my mock smash combos.
Yep.
Those are graphite, but at the same time, they're pretty dang tough. You know, this wind blowing my hair around. But really, you want a tough reel for big fish. You don't want them torquing on your reel.
Nope.
So go aluminum. One other thing I'll point out is these pads. They're not the combat grips like they're shaped for most Lew's reels. They're like that rubberized type material. I like it. It seems grippy. It's not the combat grip style, so I don't know how grippy it is. I haven't fished with any of these reels yet.
Very similar to like the rubberized plastic on Daiwa grips.
Correct. Yes, very similar. But like I said, haven't fished with this yet or either of these other two reels, so keep that in mind. This is not a review. This is just an unboxing and going over the specs.
Indeed.
Magnetic brakes, so, and it clicks. That's nice. Drag clicks. Tension does not click. That's not too awful big for me. I mean, especially at the $100 price point. I like to have it click, but it doesn't, so it's not that big of a deal. Also, kind of a standard for Lew's reels, 95mm handle. That's nice. I like it a little wider. If it had been 100mm, that would have been all the better, but it's not. They do have an external lube port, so you don't have to take your reel all the way apart to put lubricant in
That's
there.
always nice.
That's always nice.
Like to keep your gear working at maximum capabilities, and the fact that made it easier.
Indeed. And then the last thing I'll point out is the drag system. This has Rulon drag, much like the Mock Smash and a lot of the SLPs do. Which Rulon drag is great, but it's just not as tough as other materials like you'll see in just a minute. This has a max drag of 15 pounds. So it is, I mean, this reel is a workhorse.
Yeah.
From what I've heard. I've always heard great things out of it. I just never sent it on the LFS. Don't know why. But now I finally have, and we're about to test it out. And I'm thinking it's gonna be great myself. But with that being said, we'll move on to the next reel. All right, next up we have the Lew's Tournament MP LFS.
A little bit more pricey of a
A
reel.
little bit more pricey. This is actually the most expensive reel I bought the other day.
How much more deer is this reel?
So the LFS is $99.99. The Tournament MP LFS can be found anywhere from $150 to $160, depending on whether you're looking at Bass Pro or Tackle Warehouse or directly from Lew's or at a store. However, even though it costs $60 more, it has some impressive upgrades. So like I said, the other LFS did not have the combat grips. Tournament MP does. I like the combat grips. I think they're very, very sticky. You can hold on to them even when wet. You're not going to be slipping off. I just really like them. I like the paddle shape to them.
They're definitely effective for what they need to do.
I will also say there is some aesthetic upgrades to this reel. Red and silver. I mean, just the red with the silver looks really good.
It's a very clean looking outfit right there.
Yes. But as we'll go through, this actually has carbon fiber drag. So a little tougher than the Rulon. This has a max drag of 20 pounds. So this is a real workhorse of a reel. With the aluminum frame, it's an LFS. So all the LFS are gonna have like the same basic aluminum components, sturdier stuff.
One-way clutch bearings.
Yep, this has the zero reverse one-way clutch bearing. It also has the P2 super pinion, which we explained earlier.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna have to explain too awful much on this one. The combat grips also extend to the thumb button.
It's always nice.
Yeah, I like that. It's nice overall. Still graphite side plates. One major improvement over the LFS is this right here. You're like, well, Logan, that's still just the magnetic control braking system. Not really, because if I take off this side plate here. You see the magnets. But then you see the internal centrifugal braking, which you would tend to see on, start at the $100 price point. You get it on the SLX from Shimano, but a lot of Shimano reels, Daiwa has some that has the centrifugal braking.
Yep.
Other brands use centrifugal braking. Centrifugal braking is really nice.
Yep.
And the fact that this reel has both, what this allows you to do is to set your brakes with the centrifugal brakes and then fine tune with the magnetic braking. So you can really dial this in to a T where you need it.
Yeah.
That's nice.
This is a very big thing for individuals who have multiple combos set up for different tasks. This is very much a set it and forget it type of situation.
Mm-hmm. And another thing I'll point out to differentiate the LFS from the Tournament MP is the fact that just the standard Speed Spool LFS weighs in at 7.1 ounces. This comes in a few ounces lighter at 6.9.
Yep.
Or, I mean, not a few ounces, a few fractions of an ounce.
Lighter is
but
lighter.
It is, I mean, you can tell the difference
Yes.
in how light it is. Anything you want to add about this? Anything I skip over?
I will say,
Oh, this is a 7.5 to 1, by the way.
my favorite thing about this reel, if I may, I'm a big fan of gimmicky items.
Oh, that's a big thing I missed. Yeah.
You can see right here on the inside, right here.
Let me block the sun for you over here.
Thank you, good sir. Flip it out. You have a flip out hook keeper.
Yeah.
Now, I tell you what, this is an innovation if I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, that's the patented loose speed keeper.
That is amazing right there, dog.
Especially when it comes to like loose rods and other companies that put the hook keeper down by your hand. I hate that.
And this also saves you from knocking out the eye on your actual, I forgot what that thing's called. I can't believe it.
Yeah, just your little line guide.
Yeah, your line guide. Knocking the eye out of that sucker. You can actually put it down here. Logan's actually knocked the eye out.
I've shattered it.
Yeah. So
which I never even hook them in there. I don't know how I did. I think I was just really
I've done
hard
it
on
accidentally before.
Yeah.
But this is money right here.
Yeah, that is money. I mean, small things like that are huge, in my opinion.
Because nobody's going to want to use a reel. Even if it's a super high quality, that's an inconvenience.
Yes.
So having these little things that just put the cherry on top makes it that much more better.
And then I believe the last major difference between these two reels is the precision cut aluminum gearing it has in it instead of the brass. It's still pretty much, it's maybe a little tougher than brass, but it's extremely lighter.
Yep. Much
lighter. That's why this reel is lighter overall, with more components and even a stronger drag. Oh, in fact, the fact that this has a carbon fiber drag, that also takes off some weight instead of the Rulon.
Yep.
So lighter reel, tougher reel,
more drag.
More drag. Just niceties that you don't have on the standard LFS, like that speed keeper and the combat grips.
Yep.
So overall, is it worth the $60 difference? I think so. I'm really excited about this. Plus the fact that I got it on sale for $92.
Nothing like a fat discount.
Indeed. So we're going to switch to the last reel we're going to talk about.
Spinning reel.
Actually, spinning reel. Loose. Team Loose Custom Pro. Speed Spin.
Speed Spin.
Like we said, that's a spinning reel. And this is the 3000 size. And I will show you something that has got me this may be the reel I'm most excited about.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. Not the most expensive reel I bought. That's mainly due to the fact that it's a spinning reel. I believe in spinning reels are just cheaper in general over casting.
Yeah.
But watch this. Okay, so you see how I have my loose arm here. This is what they call a screw in. So I just got to keep turning it. Now it's on. I don't have to take this off, switch sides, all that. And then if you ever need to, and you can really winch that down if you don't want it to do this whenever you reverse it. But if you need to like store this or something, just reverse, unscrew it, and it folds down. And then all you gotta do is screw it back, And really, if you don't want it to do that while you're fishing, which nobody would, you just really winch it down. Yep. And you don't have to worry about it. This reel
is clean.
Super nice. This is the second most expensive spinning reel Lew's makes, second to the Hypermag. And the components seem to point to that. So very, very nice carbon fiber drag. I think it has this one in particular, different models have different amounts of drags. This one has 22 pounds. This is the 3000 size.
Yep.
I think the 4000 size has 24 pounds max drag. Workhorses, but that's a little more standard for a spinning reel, that higher drag. But dude, this thing's nice. This wire for the bail, thick and solid, and the whole thing is just thick and solid.
On less expensive reels, I've thrown them in like the bed of a truck and bent out the bail wire. I do not foresee that happening with this sucker. And
these little hinges for the bail, I've snapped those before. As your reel just gets older and whatnot. But this, I'm not worried about that.
It is built for tough.
We will point out it still has the knurled spool for braid. It's braid ready.
Always wanted.
Aesthetics, very pleasing.
Yes.
I mean, that's a clean looking reel. I mean, that silver
with sparkle.
It's almost like looking at like a speedboat.
Yeah, the side of a bass boat.
With the black and the gold, and then the wind grips does have those wind grip knobs.
Big old fat ones.
Big old fat knobs. I mean, that's just, you got all the control in the world. Other than that, it has the flush and drain ports on it. So if you need to, you just pull a little plug out, and if you drop it in mud, or like you drop it in a pond or the lake or the river, whatever, and you need to flush it out, all you have to do is put water through the reel, and that water will come out that drain and flush port, and it'll just clean out your reel. That's really nice. And then all you have to do is just go back through and lube it up again and grease it.
Yep.
Put your oil in there, all that.
If I remember correctly, this is a 12 bearing system.
Yes, this is a 12 bearing system. Super smooth. I mean, that's nice. Play around with it.
Butter, man.
Yeah, I mean, just
like, I was surprised when I'm not gonna say I was surprised. I wasn't expecting it to be this smooth though, because you know, sometimes spinning reels can be a little more crunchy, or you know, there's more moving parts with the actual just stuff doing their thing. But man, this thing is clean. Yes. I like it.
And I will point out, this reel also has the zero reverse one-way clutch bearing system. All three of the reels we've unboxed have had that, and that is a nice component. Lew's is making it kind of a standard thing.
You get a very positive click right here whenever you set your drag. It's very positive. It lets you know that sucker's down.
And very lightweight, very tough carbon fiber drag on there.
But honestly, this is a amazing looking reel, and I expect it to be an amazing performing reel.
Right. And you know, pros use this reel.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what they use. I mean, most time when you see the pros, like the Lew's Strike King Pros, they're using the Team Lew's Custom Pro or the Hypermag, just because that's their two most expensive reels, and they're their two most high quality spinning reels.
And after messing around with this thing for a little while, I can see why. This is a very nice piece of kit.
Trey might get one.
Oh no.
I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, you're sitting on the Tula CT.
Yes.
It's the same thing, and it's nice.
But I gotta buy the rod. I might as well buy a G Loomis spinning rod.
You just switch out what you got on the Air Decks.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm going to do.
That would actually go. That would actually.
It would match perfectly.
It would.
It's very much a Daiwa pattern, like color scheme.
Now there's a stark difference in the price points, but.
Yeah.
But I mean. And then we'll put this up. And whatever. All right, guys. That was the 3 reels I brought. Well, I did bring them.
This is true. You
but bought for Black Friday. Got great deals on them. I got the Tournament MP for $92. That's a $160 reel. I got the Team Lou's Custom Pro spinning reel for 70 something, 74 or something like that, and that's a $130 reel. And then I got the LFS for 65, and that's a $100 reel.
Yeah.
So I got like $300 and something worth of reels for I think $250.
Yeah.
Which is not, I don't do that every day. It was a really good deal for me to do that, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous. I'm a little jealous I didn't.
But anyway, guys, we'll wrap up this video. Hopefully you liked that unboxing. It wasn't much of a review because we have nothing to review. We have no experience with them, but we will use them heavily next year. Indeed. And get you a review on them for the next year-end review section next December. Indeed. But if you are new to Discussion December, we're doing a video every day.
At least we're
December.
trying.
Yeah, which we are. We had a mistake last week where we had to push a video back a day, but we still got it out.
Yep.
But we're getting these videos out to you. This is like the seventh video, sixth, seventh, something in there. We'll have one more this week, and then we'll be back next week with 5 new videos.
Indeed.
Like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, set the comments, or set the notifications all. Comment down below. At
the end screen, you'll see a couple other of our gear review videos, particularly of the Daiwa Airdex rods and the Mock Smash.
Yeah, and the Mock Smash. Make sure you watch both of those. If you like this video, those actually, I would say, because we actually have experience with those, you get a much better understanding of the rods and reels we talk about. So be sure to check those out if you like this video. They go a little more in depth, but actually they're shorter than this video. We just had 3 different reels to do. So.
Yeah, a lot of specs to go through.
Yeah, we sure did. But thanks for watching. See you guys next time.